What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. I'm hanging out in the shed today, getting ready to check out some new beers. The beer I have to offer is Commodore Perry IPA. This is a British style IPA, and this is from Great Lakes Brewing, and they're out of Cleveland, Ohio. When I did the last video, I think I talked a little bit about how I sometimes overlook the breweries that are a little bit bigger. So there are a lot of really great Ohio breweries. Amongst them is Great Lakes, Rhinegeist, Fatheads, Jackie O's. But I see their beers all the time on the shelves, so I don't really try them that frequently. With that in mind, I figured maybe I should break that habit and try some of the beers that most of the people in Ohio or maybe throughout the region are able to taste. So Commodore Perry, like I said, is an IPA, British IPA. It's kind of funny when you hear British IPA nowadays, right? I think you're used to hazy, New England, every other kind of style. And then to say a British IPA, these are the guys that invented it, right? They made these beers and they were supposed to be hoppy so they could make that long journey from England all the way around to India. That's the name. This is a beer that's been around forever. I know it does pretty good. They get pretty good ratings and marks. So I figured it's finally time to break down and do a review. Now on the back of here, we have a little bit of a blurb. It says Commodore Perry IPA, bold and balanced. A British-style IPA named after the man who defeated His Majesty's Royal Navy in the War of 1812. Consider this a bold, hoppy, and mildly ironic plunder of war. Again, this was the hero of Lake Erie, Commodore Perry, won a decisive battle in the War of 1812. I know it's probably been a while since any of us have heard anything about the War of 1812, but still pretty cool that it's named after him, and we kind of have this swashbuckling figure on the front with a sword on the ship. Kind of cool artwork there, I guess. I also dig any beers that have historical ties for the most part, so I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. It has a little spot here. It says, "Don't give up the ship." Right? I think that was the famous thing Commodore Perry said in battle. So let's give this one a shot. 7.7% ABV, 70 IBUs. As far as ratings, that's pretty good. Untapped, 3.6 with about 100,000 ratings. And Beer Advocate had an 88, a very good. Looks like I didn't write down the individual score. All right. Well, that's a nice looking beer. Got my Oktoberfest glass as I prepare myself to work Oktoberfest in a couple of weekends here in Findlay. Color, let's see. This, if I'm going with my Brew HQ chart, I'd say this is probably maybe like a pale gold or a light straw type of color there. Not much going on as far as carbonation. I got a few stray bubbles, and that's about it. The head now looks magnificent. I mean, that's 2 fingers. I don't think I poured that super aggressively or heavy. Nice white, chunky, frothy head. Looks really good. Smell. Light malt. You kind of get a little bit of a citrusy hop thing. Maybe like a slight bit of pininess. I expected it to be a bit hoppier. I mean, 70 IBUs, I guess, isn't... it's not a triple IPA or anything crazy, right? Or imperial. But there's a fair amount of hops to it. And the nose is fairly subtle. I mean, you pick up the hops for sure, but it's not beat you over the head or make you run away. Like, if you're not a hop head, like I'm not, usually when I get that initial sniff, if it's too hoppy, I'm like, here we go. This is Frankenstein's monster of beer. But this smells pretty good. Oh, the wind is getting aggressive and knocking all my cans over. Yeah, it smells good. Let's give it a shot. Medium light bodied. You kind of get like a caramelly toffee kind of malt thing going on, and you definitely pick up the hops. It's kind of like grapefruit or grapefruit rind, however people like to describe that grapefruit taste. Not a huge grapefruit fan. You do get a bit of piney hops at the end, and I tend to prefer the pine hops myself as opposed to the kind of the more citrusy or tropical ones. I prefer those piney ones. I think there's a beer called Pennsylvania Tuxedo. It's really good, made with pine. I absolutely love that one. And again, not a big hop dude, but I quite like that. This got a nice crisp finish to it as well. This is a well-made beer. I think the one thing that I kind of enjoy about this is it is hoppy, but it's not so hoppy that it's hoppy for hoppiness' sake, which I think a lot of breweries do. They go over the top to see how much hops they can cram into a can. And look, I get it. I know there's people out there that dig that stuff, but it's not me. This, on the other hand, just tastes like a nice beer. You get, like I said, you get that little caramelly malt thing, and then the hops are there to balance it out, and I think it finishes it off quite nicely. So even if you're not a huge hophead or IPA fan, this is quite a drinkable beer. So, Commodore Perry IPA, I will not give up the ship. You get a big thumbs up. I would have another one of these for sure. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you tried Commodore Perry? Let me know what you think of it. What's your favorite historically inspired beer? I know there's a lot of them out there. Hey, till next time.